video is going to go over our annotated bibliography, the first assignment that you're going to be doing for this semester. So English 1320 builds on what you learned in English 1010, and this assignment is going to work on helping you to just remember the skills, especially in terms of research, summarizing, writing, and source citation that you learned in that class. So we're going to be doing a short annotated bibliography based on our first reading for the class, and the sources that you find for this bibliography could be used, if you want, later this semester when we work on our formal research project. So you're going to be using the CQ Researcher article, Corporate D&I, which I've provided a link for to start your annotated bibliography. You're going to need to read over the overview, background, current situation, and the outlook, because that information is going to form the basis of your understanding of this topic. Then you're going to use the links in the next step section to start your research. As you can see, when you go to the next step section, there are different topics that you can choose. There's allies, corporate initiatives, government, leadership, and each one of those has 3 articles. And when you click on the links that are provided, it will take you to these different articles, or some of them are news sites, so that you can learn a little bit more about these specific resources. So that's going to be the starting place for your text. Now, like everything else we do in this class, we're going to really be basing this on something that is kind of a fictional scenario that mirrors the real world. So in this scenario, your boss, John Johnson, has recently heard a lot of buzz about diversity inclusion initiatives and how they've been growing in popularity. He's interested in learning whether a D&I initiative could benefit the company, but he doesn't have enough information about what D&I is. So he's asked you to review some resources and give him an overview. He wants you to find at least 5 resources and provide him with summaries of those resources. The summary should have enough information for him to decide whether he's going to go and locate or read the source himself. He'd also like you to write an overview about the topic. What is the history of D&I? What's the current state of the issue? And how do the sources that you are going to provide him help him understand what's going on? So you're going to create him an annotated bibliography in memo format. He will be the primary audience, but this memo may be circulated to the Board of Trustees if the boss decides that going forward is a good idea. So like I said, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to read that article. It's always available through CQ Researcher, but there's a PDF available in our class website as well. Go to the next step section and select only one of those categories. Don't do all 3 or 4 of the categories. So you're going to pick one category and then read all 3 sources listed. You're going to write summaries of each source. Then, once you've read those 3 sources, you're going to go to the PGCC database library, and you're going to find 2 additional sources. So when you go to the PGCC database library, there's a link through our campus and through our class website, but you can also go to databases by subject, business and commerce, and then you can select one of these business databases. Great ones for this are ABI Inform, Business Gale OneFile, and let's see, I think those are probably the 2 best choices for this particular assignment. So once you find 2 sources that are really, really close in terms of topic to the ones you've already read, you're going to summarize those sources as well. And then you're going to compile the bibliography as a memo. You're going to include an opening paragraph or 2 paragraphs that introduces the overall issue of diversity and inclusion initiatives. The opening should explain how the sources you're providing clarify the issue for your boss. So if you need some information about annotated bibliographies because you haven't been asked to do them before, you can take a look at the Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab website. There's an overview here for you. There's also a breakdown of what goes into an annotation and why we do annotated bibliographies. And then they provide some samples in both MLA and APA. And what you're going to notice is that these samples give the citation first, and then beneath the citation, indented so it kind of stands out, are the summaries and analysis of the articles. So you're going to be doing that for yours as well. If you're not familiar with APA citation, the Purdue OWL website also has a link, and I've provided it there. There's also APA guidelines in your textbook. So I've listed for you the annotated bibliography requirements. Remember, you're going to look for 5 sources, and 3 of those are coming from the article that we start with as a whole class. You're going to cite your sources in APA. You're going to make sure you summarize your sources clearly and completely. You're going to put your bibliography in alphabetical order. You're going to write an introductory overview that gives some sort of context. And remember, you're writing to your boss. So it's presented as a business memo to your boss. You want to make sure that all of the information is appropriate for both your boss, Mr. John Johnson, and the Board of Trustees if he passes it along. And you're going to use good document design throughout the whole process. So this is our first big assignment. It's 10% of your final grade. I'm happy to help. If you have any questions, just let me know.